The Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games begin to draw to a close. 128 athletes in 18 sports don and wore the maple leaf for Canada. World records, medals, personal best, and wins filled the games for the Great White North. Over the next few weeks, we will look into and see how these athletes did. Welcome to the Tokyo Paralympic Recap. We begin this episode at Umeshima Park Archery Field, where one Canadian competed for the nation. Karen Van Nest of North Bay, Ontario drew Miho Nagano of Japan in a round of 32 match. Van Nest and Nagano went back and forth till Van Nest pulled away in the fifth end, winning 138-130. Advancing to the round of 16, the Canadian would go up against Yushan Lin of China. The match would come down to the final arrow, with Lin defeating Van Nest 142-140. Completing her 6th Paralympic Games, Karen Van Nest goes 1-1 in her competition. Transitioning from archery, Canadian medal hopes lay in judo at the Nippon Budokan. Priscilla Gagne, ranked second in the world for the women's 52 kilo, began her journey for hardware as she faced against the RPC's Alessia Stepanuk. Scoring a waze ari, Gagne secured the win, progressing her to the semifinals. In her semifinals match, the Sarnia native would battle Ramona Brussig of Germany. The match would last 23 seconds as Gagne would score an ippon, punching her ticket to the gold medal match. Priscilla Gagne and Shireen Abdouli squared off for gold. Abdouli, the Algerian, would get an ippon 2:06 into the contest, winning the gold. In her second games, Priscilla Gagne wins silver, giving Canada its first medal in judo since Sydney 2000. At its second games, we look at para-triathlon. Canada brought 3 athletes hunting for medals in Odaiba Marine Park. Jessica Tumela, having previously competed at 3 Paralympics in swimming, returned to compete in her 4th games, her first since 2008. Tumela would place 5th in the para-triathlon visual impairment after a strong swim/bike section, finishing in 1:12:53. Miley Fournette from Dieppe, New Brunswick, competed in her first Paralympics, placing 4th in the women's PTS 5. Fournette would finish the triathlon in a time of 1:10:09. In the men's PTS 5, Calgary's Stefan Daniel looks to repeat with Paralympic medals after winning silver in 2016. After being in 4th at the first transition, Daniel would fight to a bronze in a time of 59:22, giving the 2-time Paralympian his 2nd Paralympic medal. George Peasgood of Great Britain wins silver, and Germany's Martin Schulz takes gold. Not far from the Odaiba Marine Park is the Sea Forest Waterway, where Canada has 2 teams racing and rowing. In the mixed doubles scull, Jesse Brockway and Jeremy Hall of Victoria, BC would go 9:43.91 in Heat 1 of the mixed doubles, moving them to the repechage. In the first heat of the repechage, Brockway and Hall would place 5th in a time of 9:11:14, missing out on the A final, meaning the 2 Canadians would race in the B final. In the B final, the BC natives would finish their games in a time of 9:53:64. Bailey Hooper, Andrew Todd, Victoria Nolan, and Kyle Fredrickson would race in the mixed cocked 4. Led by Coxswain Lower Court, Canada's 4 placed 4th with a time of 7:43:84 in the first heat of the event. In the repechage, the red and white finished 4th in a time of 7:15:81. Falling short of the A final, Canada came 2nd in the B final, going 7:43:03, concluding the games for the 2 teams and 6 athletes. Archery Tennis Park laid as a backdrop as the Maple Leaf had 1 athlete competing in tennis. The 2019 Para-Pan Am gold medalist Rob Shaw made his Paralympic debut in the men's quad singles, going up against Great Britain's Andy Lapthorne in the first round. In the first set, Shaw would be outscored 6-3, having his serve broken 3 times. Repeating in the second set, Lapthorne broke Shaw 3 times, winning the match 6-3, 6-3, eliminating the Canadian from the games. 4 Canadians competed at the Equestrian Park in Setagaya City. Wyona Harvickson would score a 69.893, placing 9th in the Grade 1 Dressage individual test. Right behind her was Jody Sloss, coming in 11th with a score of 69.286. Both Canadians would miss out on the individual freestyle test. In the Grade 3 dressage individual test, Lauren Barwick finished 9th, scoring 70, and Roberta Sheffield would be 12th with a score of 69.765. Lauren Barwick would compete in the Grade 3 dressage individual freestyle test, finishing 6th in a 72.507. The team test to music would see Sheffield, Harvickson, and Barwick score a combined 211.699, good enough for 10th. That will conclude this episode in our Paralympic recap. Check back in to see how other Canadian athletes did.